Promise. Yo. Yo, sis, what's up? Nah, yeah. Yo, sis, hold on. Don't flex on me like that. She going in already. Don't do that.
Nah.
Yo, Alicia, you got, I'm going to play with you right now because you playing with me. You got this go-to look, right? J-Lo got a go-to look. You got a go-to look that you do all the time. It's like, what's that?
This one? You're crazy. What's up, Joe?
Yo, what's up? I don't know. It's kind of low. I'll fix the volume. I went and bought a new phone for you. I'm good.
How's
we good.
My volume, though? Because I got my earpiece in. Should I take it out?
Nah, they be Swiss is tuned in. Nah. You perfect. You know, they be clout chasing me, my friends and my family. So when I got somebody big like you on, they start calling the phone. And once they start calling the phone, they want me to scream at them or something. Anything to say their name on the jump off. So I went and bought a side phone that I don't even have the number to, just to interview you because you're such a big deal. Listen, how you doing, my sister? The album is phenomenal.
Man, brother, I'm so happy to talk to you. I've been waiting to talk to you. I couldn't wait for this day.
Let me tell you something. I went to San Francisco. The plane was doing. I'm terrified of planes.
You know, you look like you might be terrified of planes.
No, like I jump on the old lady when it shakes. Like, I might cripple an old lady, but I'm terrified of planes. But I listened to your album. It was a double album. And the first thing I was saying is like, yo, it's so much work.
Yeah,
like 2 albums.
It is a lot of work. Did you ever do a double album? Because I did my first one.
That's too much work. Because I was like, I mean, no disrespect. I was like, damn, it's more songs. And it was like, that's a lot of work. What made you want to do a double album this time?
Well, you know, the concept of the album is that it's really only about 12 songs, but there's the first side is called the originals, and that one is super broken down piano, all about the pen, the music, the soulful, that energy right there.
That true Alicia Keys fan.
Original AK right there. And then the other side is the one that I sampled. We wanted to sample the originals and create a whole other version. So me and Mike Will sampled the originals and created the unlocked version. So even though you feel like you're hearing another you're just hearing another version of what you heard on the originals. And so that's what makes it feel so fresh, is because it just sonically it's a mind.
Now I'm gonna say I went to the show in the Apollo.
Yes.
I sat up a deck like a normal citizen. I was up a deck.
That's where the kings stay.
Me, my wife, and no. Not the you know how they got the little
things the on little the side.
No, you know they got the mezzanine, not there. The regular upper deck. You know the Apollo got the little where the kings. We was up a upper deck.
You feeling
it was
like
so beautiful. It was so beautiful. Me, my wife, and Terrellish, my stylist. We enjoyed, and Jamie. So Jamie was in the building, and so we enjoyed the show so much, and that's where I saw the original, the unlocked version.
Yes.
And it was just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful night.
Oh my God.
Did they tell you I was in there like they tell you Prince is in there?
Yeah, they was like, Alicia, you know who just walked in the door? I was like, who? They was like, Joe, he's in here. You can start the show now. I was like, okay.
Yo, Lisa, I was on my Harlem shit. I had a dancing on. I was on my real Harlem shit. Like, yo, I was up in there like, you know, that shit was crazy.
No, it was nuts. And then Jada came out with, and I suited up, and I just played We Gonna Make It on the piano. It was really, really crazy.
Now, it was a beautiful, beautiful, and you know what? You put me on that night to that guy, Lucky Day, and I've been following him ever since. His music, this guy's phenomenal.
Yeah, no, Lucky is a monster. He, you know, we wrote a song together called "Come For Me." Me, Lucky, and Khalid are on that record, and I didn't realize that Lucky has such like a Michael. He has this voice on him that's really, really, really fresh. So he's definitely to be looked out for.
And he's six packed up. He's
I
six
ain't see him.
packed.
What you
Let me
mean?
tell you, he came out with you with some baggy clothes.
Okay.
Then I went to the Soul Train Award, and that boy came out naked.
He was like,
And
"Oh,
I was
I gotta
like,
turn
yo,
up."
when he came out, they said, lucky day. I'm looking for the baggy. It looked like he wearing Fat Joe and Big Pun clothes at your show. And then the man came out naked, six packed up the next time. I said,
You
damn,
felt you was like, "What happened?" I didn't know, because I was like, "How do you know
it
that
was a
he has
lucky
six
day
packs?"
for them ladies. Let me tell you.
Lucky. It's a lucky
Okay,
day.
one thing that sticks out the most in the universe is somebody that we all look up to. Somebody who's incredible is Miss Sade, right? And we love her. Man, I was hustling in the streets pumping Sade.
Oh my God.
Like, it's like she's like, but the thing is, she doesn't let anyone sample her. How did you get this approved? How do you go by clearing this? I need this step by step, because if people don't understand that Sade does not clear samples. But I mean, I've heard the biggest artist on the planet Earth trying to clear Sade and she wouldn't do it. How did you get the permission?
I have to say, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, Sade is my big sister in my head. Like, even that's how I look at her. She is my big sister. Nobody can't tell me nothing. Like, we're related. That's how I feel about Sade, right? So, we actually connected some years ago. She did my black ball. I used to do something called the black ball every year, which was for my organization, Keep a Child Alive. And we do a beautiful performance, and there'd be really special people that would join me on the stage. One day I invited her to come to the black ball. I figured she would definitely tell me no. And she pulled up. So since that moment, we were able to connect and keep in touch. And Sade is a fairy. She's a fairy. Like, you text her. I do text Sade.
I would text Sade if I had a number. Let me tell you something. I love Sade so much. I seen her perform one time, and I had my suit on. My wife was fly. We was in Miami. We was like, I mean, I was front row.
Yeah.
I'm seeing. Shout out Tom Joyner. He was at that show, Legendary Radio, and we was and her band saw me, and they start doing like the lean back.
No.
But now, Alicia, I was so nervous. I knew I could have to go back there and ask for a picture. That I left so disappointed because I really wanted that pic.
I know. You know how when you're trying to be nice and you feel nervous and then you don't do it and you regret it for the rest of your life? I
regret that for the rest of my life. And I still haven't been able to see Sade anywhere.
No, you don't. She's a fairy. That's what I'm telling you. She disappears. She's on her own plane. She owns her own universe. She descends down from the universe and comes to sometimes talk to us, but most of the time you can't find her. So let me tell you the story. So I was able to connect with her since that point, and I always check in with her, and I always send love, and we just talk, and I send her super blessings, and if I'm going to be in the area, we can we connect if we can. And so I put together this song, Best of Me, and for a second I was gonna call it an ode to Sade, because I feel like that's how I honor and respect her, like this tone, this style, this energy. And I
was
wanted
at
to
the
just
Apollo
honor
and I heard doom doom. I told my wife, yo, she sampled Sade, doom doom. I heard the bells. I was like, yo, like, Dad, I'm sorry, Alicia. It's too important, man.
So I text her and I said that there's a song that I'm working on. I really want you to hear. It's inspired by how much I adore you, and she's so generous and she's so kind. And says something like, how lucky am I? That's what she said. Something beautiful like that. So I'm melting because this is my big sister in my head, and she's like loving on me, right? So she said, send it along. So, I finished it all up. It took me some weeks. I just wanted to make it perfect for her. I wanted her to hear it exactly how I wanted her to hear it. And so I send it to her, and, I don't hear anything for a couple of days because she's on her own universe planet. So it's okay. I know it takes a little bit of time and stuff like that. She finally hits me back. And she's like, me and the band, you know, we're rehearsing and we're in the studio working on some new stuff. So first of all, I can't wait for that. And she was like, you know, I really, this sounds so beautiful. She asked me some of the lyrics.
One second, Alicia. Sade is back in the studio.
I believe
this is what we call a
creating
Joker moment on this show. This is a Joker moment where you heard it first here. She's back in the studio. Again, I'm sorry, Alicia. Continue.
Listen, we can't wait. We can't wait to hear everything that she's cooking up. Come on, she is majesty. So she says, you know, I love it. She asked me about some of the lyrics. I was, you know, sharing with her about the lyrics. You know, gave her some space. Just was checking in, asking her how the studio was going, how she feeling, all the good stuff. And I said, you know, I would love for this song to be on my next record, and I would love your blessings. You know, so I'm like, let's see what happens, because we know.
You threw it out there. Was you nervous before you asked? Was you nervous? Because you know she don't clear nothing. You knew that.
You know, I did know that she's definitely, and I understand, because this is one of my all-time favorite records. You know what I mean? Ooh. So I understand. And so she came back, and she was like, first of all, she's like, I can't believe you already have another record. Like, dang, what's going on with you, genius? She was just so sweet. I said, you the genius. And she was like, you know what? I love the record, and you have my blessings, and I hope you're happy. And I was like, in my room, jumping up and down like a crazy person, screaming at the top of my lungs like a 3-year-old kid. That's what happened in that
Yo,
room.
Alicia, she fucks with you, bro. Wow. Like, let me tell you, people don't understand that this industry, there's artists that they don't care about money. They don't care about, they just so sensitive with the music, with everything. Sade's one of them. So for her to say, I'm happy for you, is she loved this song, but at the same time, she loves Alicia.
Yo, when I tell you that, it was almost like, it was like when I tell you she's my big sister in my head, it was like the person you admire the most, like co-signing you in a way that just like 1,000,000%. I can't even tell you what it did to.
No, I know what it feels like.
You know what I mean?
I know KRS, I know LL. Those are my idols.
Right.
I get around them. I said, you know, when KRS did the verses, we walked them into the ring, Terror Squad. Do you know what the hell that felt like?
No, I felt
walking in our master. This is the guy we worship, and he's going to battle. And even though we love King, don't get that messed up. But walking him to the battle, walking through the tunnel with KRS One, I dreamed of this shit my whole life.
Oh my God.
You know, and when I'm introducing him, the man hugs me on stage in front of the stadium. I'm like,
did you cry?
Boom!
Joe, did you shed a bit of a tear? I need to, it's okay. I need you to share with us that you might have
never shed a tear. I never shed a tear. You know I'm a man's man, Alicia.
Hey.
Listen.
Men's men cry, Joe.
I know, but not for that.
Cut the shit.
No, not for that. But I was beyond grateful. Yeah. And, you know, KRS is my mentor. And LL Cool J. I got, you know, and both of them have been special in my life. One time I threw a birthday party in the Bronx. And it was Biggie was there, Puff was there. Everybody you can name was there. It was the Hood, Fat Joe. This is Flo Joe time. Oh. And I had just met LL, and I was like, yo, I'm throwing a party in the Bronx. And you know, LL, no disrespect to LL, he was like the little Bow Wow. He was like Justin Bieber. He was somebody you never seen. You never seen LL Cool J when he was on fire. I need love. You just never. Right. So I met him the one time and shot my shot. Like, yo, I got my birthday party. The man, 2 in the morning, KRS One's performing. All of a sudden, you hear nothing but girls scream. Ah! And all I see is a red baseball cap. And next thing you know, LL Cool J walks up on stage. At that moment, I could have died. At that moment, having KRS and LL at the same time, I could have died right there. Like that was it.
At the party? They were both
at my birthday party. But I mean, like in 93, 94, Flow Joe.
That's crazy.
I blew my mind. Let me ask you a question that I've been meaning to ask, right? Is there such thing, right, of becoming too big of a superstar? Like, we only mentioned, I'm going to tell you, Alicia, we only mentioned your name. I'm going to just keep it a buck. We only mentioned your name with Beyonce and Rihanna. Rihanna's in there, right? So, like, I think if you're a crown prince of something and you want to pay somebody $10 million to perform, it's either Alicia, Beyonce, or Rihanna. No,
crown prince or something.
Is there such thing as being too big to the point of where you feel maybe you don't have street credibility? Is there something like that?
I feel like your head could get too big. You know what I mean? I feel like your perspective can get off, and you can forget the truth, and you can forget the real, and you can feel like somehow there's some hierarchy that's fake and not real. So I think that happens to some people. I'm definitely, I am as real as they come. There's nobody realer than me, not even the names you said to me. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? And I respect both of those ladies greatly. But to me, I feel like there's a certain genuine honesty and realness that I always have. I always, always, always will. So I do think that you can get to a place where your head can get out of control, or your perspective gets confused, and you forget what you already knew, and I think
or
that
even you, like I often tell, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I often tell, like, Khaled, Khaled has like a ton of security, right? And it's not his fault. One day we on vacation in Turks and Caicos, and I convinced him. I was in the water with Khaled, just me and him. In the middle, how that shit is empty. And I said, yo, Khaled, you're like fucking ultra famous, bro. Like, you have to have the best security ever met, because, Selena got killed by her fan. So, it's at, is there a point where can you go to Melba's in Harlem and have a meal in peace? Will they let you eat the oxtail in Melba's?
I don't eat oxtail, but let me tell you, I can go anywhere, and there is genuine, pure love and respect. One thing that Swizzy and I say all the time, we can walk down any street, and that is a genuine, pure love, and we return that love just as equally. We're not over here having to go, we are right where we belong. You know what I mean? So yes, I can go into Melba's, I can go anywhere, sit down at the table. Will people come say hello? Yes, I say hello back. Most people will give me space to eat and chill, and then we connect, and it's a vibe. It's like, it's just real.
Because that's the only thing that gets me mad. Like, fat people, we don't like people taking pictures of us eating without permission. We just don't. It's a fact. Fat people don't want nobody taking their picture in the restaurant eating some chicken wings or some collard greens. Like, we don't want the pic right there. Ask me after, and I'll take a million pictures with you. But that is like an
that's
invasion.
Just ethics. Yeah, that's just like general protocol. General protocol is a person's eating, you let them eat, and then you connect with them after they eat. It's okay.
Now, your husband.
Yes.
One of my longtime greatest friends. And I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know if I gave it to you or I didn't, but he was on me when he first got with you, because purple's your favorite color. He wanted my billionaire frames. This man was harassing me to give them to you.
Wow.
Did I ever give it to you?
I definitely feel like I got a pair of purple.
So they're mine. They're mine. They're mine. I gave them to you. No, I'm telling you, this man was on my ass. Because when you first met him, you bought him some kind of bike. What was the bike? You bought him a bike. And he was like, yo, bro, she bought me this beautiful bike. It was like a bike. I don't know what kind of bike. To him, it was special. He thought it
Okay,
was.
now there's been a lot of special things because we
I
love to
know, no,
spoil
no.
each other. We
I
like to
see the
spoil each
special
other.
things. No, yo, Alicia. I see you're very humble. You're very modest. But I know me. I don't know if you know that I know Swiss is laughing. I see it. He sends me shit and says, "Don't post it. Don't." I mean, you know, I see, yo, man. He came to my birthday party, right? And
Oh
he
yeah, the
said,
one recently, the one you just
yes.
had.
He came to my birthday party. Wish you were there, but next summer we're gonna do it even bigger.
Let's do it. Let's do it again.
All right, and you gotta come because everybody comes. So it's a thing. So he sends me a picture of like a Ferrari, a Lamborghini. Nobody will believe me. They'll think I'm lying. He has a picture where the seat is in the middle. The car's like $3 million. He says, "Bro, this is what I want to pull up." I said, "Please don't pull up in that shit.
Don't.
Because you're gonna shut down the whole fucking party. Like, don't do it. Don't come in that shit. They're not ready to see that in New York City. They're not ready to see that vehicle in New. Do not pull up in that shit."
Right.
And
Right. You had to stop him.
no, I stopped him.
Right.
But he still, you seen him, he came in that green Lucky Charms. He looked like a motherfucking bag of gold. He came up in that shit. And you know, I had my Hermes blue. And he
look
came
good.
up in there.
Y'all both look good.
Yo, listen, that boy came with that Lucky Charm shit. Like I said, damn man, my brother looking fly.
Yeah, you know you fresh when you can pull off the Lucky Charms green.
Lucky Charm, bro.
Okay.
He looked like fucking pots of gold was flying over him. How proud of you are of your husband with this versus thing. You know, out of disruption, and out of bad times, something beautiful always, you know, like a rose from the concrete. I mean, this versus got us through the worst time in 100 years, a pandemic. How proud are you of Swiss Beats?
Listen, he is beyond. His mind works in a stratosphere that honestly nobody can touch. It's just like and he's so genuine about it. It's always so natural. He's not sitting here trying to do something. It's happening because he really loves it, because it happened to him. You know, him and Tim literally, just because everyone was bored as fuck, got on the IG and been wanting to do a battle for a minute. You know, he's done battles since Summer Jam. He'll bring out people, and you know, it's hip hop, right? So he's always done that. And because they were so bored, they got on IG and did that battle. I remember I came downstairs and he was like, oh, I'm on IG with Tim, and I was like, let me not go over there before he puts me on camera. I'm in my bed clothes, like nah. And next thing I know, he's not in the house anymore. He's up the block because they lost reception and they're battling on IG. And I'm in the bed sleep, and he came home like, you're never gonna believe what happened. And he told me what happened, and literally that was the birth of verses. And so anyway, he's incredible. Like, for real, his mind is just so expansive. The way that there's no limits for him. Like, he doesn't see that there's a ceiling anyway. In fact, somehow I'm asking him like, babe, do you know that, like, I don't know if that's gonna happen. He's like, why? Why can't it happen? Like, why is it not going to happen? And he's so clear about what he's going to manifest that he does. It's incredible. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of Versus. Versus is out of control.
That thing is amazing. And it's a different type of butterflies, anxiety, you know, because everything is cool. But when you get up in there, even though it's your best friend, right, it's like you're fighting for your legacy. And and I know for a fact when Auntie Shaka, she got a little, I knew that was like she was trying to kill the nerves, but killed it too much.
Because no, it's a big it's big. It's potentially, I mean, it's bigger than the Garden. It's bigger than O2 Stadium. It's big. There's
millions of people.
We had watching it at one
me
time.
And Jai had 2.2 million people watching at the same time. Like,
crazy.
That's some big shit. Like, if you count Madison Square Garden, 30,000 people, 10, 20, 30, like, it's some shit.
Crazy. No, it's incredible. It's incredible.
Which is saying everybody, everybody's the owner of Versus, so all the artists.
Exactly.
That was an amazing thing. And, you know, for years we had people taking advantage of our legends and I own his, and so now what Swiss and Tim did, giving stocks to the artists for sure. I got a couple stocks in verses.
It's a beautiful thing. He's always about by the artist, for the artist, with the people. Like, he's always about that. That's what everything that he creates is about. So it's a beautiful thing, man. People don't think like that. People don't think like that.
I think like that, but I think that might be a Bronx thing.
It could, you know what?
Because you know he's from the BX. Don't ever get it. I know y'all in that Iron Man crib over there, but remember we from, you know, your godmother is Puerto Rican.
Yes.
Tell me about that. Your mom's and her. What's her name? What was the dynamic?
Oh, that's so sweet. You asked me about her. That means so much to me. In fact, tonight, I'm performing one of my songs from Keys called "Old Memories" on The Voice, and I actually have these beautiful frames of both my grandmother, who is super, super dear to me, and my godmother. She was another one that I lost that is extremely important to me. I was named after her. Her name was Alicia. And so, you know, my name is actually Alicia, but I made it Alicia just so people could like understand. And so she and my mother and her met the very first, when my mother first moved to New York. They both went to school together, and she's been in my life since before I was born. She was always bendición. She made me say bendición, bendición, bendición.
Dios te bendiga. All that.
Yes.
And what's crazy is my godbrother Terrell, his mother and my mother grew up. My mother's Puerto Rican and his mother's black. Well, he's black. And we used to be together. Like, he's black. Terrell's black. And so we would be together, and he'd be like, yo, that's my brother. And I'd be like, yo, that's my brother. And people be looking like, yo, what the hell is this? But he's my brother.
Yeah,
and I'm his brother. And it's just amazing. So your mother and your godmother were singing stuff like, I will survive. Oh, no, get out that door. They was doing that thing together, huh?
Listen, they were each other's rocks for sure. They were in college together. They were the baddies together. They were modeling together. They were running the New York streets together. They were, you know, in all the New York clubs together. My mother was she's an actress, so she was, fighting for Broadway and theater, and it was all this, real New York culture that they were submersed in, and that I was also raised in. So
you black and Italian. Does that mean your moms know how to cook? Legendary.
My mother can definitely get her. She was like, what? But that's my dish. Like, that's what I make. What are you talking about? But she rode with me because she's my mama, and she's incredible. She raised me. She's a single mother, and she rides. She's a rider.
God bless. God bless. And that also, her situation definitely prepared us with certain things we go through. Like my father, he's still with my mother. He's always been there for me. We used to drink. He used to be a little verbally abusive and all that. And so that's why.
Come here. Look,
who you kissing at?
Come here. Say what up to Joe.
Yo! Yo, what's up?
Hold on. She can't. Hold on. What? My jacket. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yo, what's up?
Look at this. Tiara just pulled up on me.
I was just at what was that? The day.
Was that Chappelle?
Yeah. In Madison Square Garden, yeah.
You killing. Crazy.
You know I tore that thing down. Hey, yo, you're legendary. Don't lie. Come on now. You know I don't play that shit when I come through. You know I come through light. Get out of here. Shout out to MC Light is on here watching. Well, you know.
So you crazy. World
Go
crazy.
get that new product, y'all.
Key.
Fire key.
Wow, put your thing on so we can hear you better, because it was popping. Shout out to MC Light on the check-in, Afion on the check-in. And so we talking about.
Oh, so
we talking about I'll take 10 more minutes if you got it for me. I know you at the game. I know you at the game.
Well, yeah, no.
Are you doing something at the Knick game, or you just hanging out at the Knick game?
Listen, we chilling. My sister Tiara came to pull up with me. We hanging out. We having a little girls' night. We having some good vibes. You know
what's up with
this game. It's a major
you know what's up with
night.
You know what's up with Tiara? Tiara, I met her 20 times, right? For the first 3 to 5 times, I kept forgetting. I knew I met her, but I forgetting the name.
Oh, you one of those cats. The one
yes, this is why I'm
they
trying
forget
to
you.
Alicia, not trying to be fly, not trying to stunt,
Your brain.
And one time she turned around. I was on like the red carpet at the BET Awards, and she looked at me and she said, "If you forget me one more,"
yeah.
I said, "Tiara, what? Hey, baby, Philly in the building!" Like,
come on.
And I never will forget.
After.
I will never forget. Shout out to MC Light. She's on the check-in.
Yes, MC Light. Legends.
Yo, legends, man. MC Light. What did MC Light, Moni Love, Latifah,
Queen? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
What did that mean to you?
Everything. There was, they are the originators, and such strength and power as women, like this demanding of respect, like there's no backing down. Is such an incredible catalog and such an incredible delivery style, of finesse, of fresh. And look, like 3 of the most influential women who are today on top, like continuously evolving. And it's just so inspiring. So for me, that was everything as a young female artist, and especially one that sometimes you can lose yourself or feel like you got to follow other things, or feel like people won't accept you for how you are, or your own strong mind. You got to dim it down, all this shit that they never did. So
let me ask you a question. Did you, and I'm gonna just tell you a comparison that's weird. When I first got over flying,
but you still said you was gonna jump on the old lady, so you're not over it.
No, I'm still scared. Okay, I fly 4 or 5 times a week, and I'm still scared.
Okay. You mean that when you actually started flying?
When I actually started flying, I would listen to "You Don't Know My Name," and I swear, but I mean 10,000 times on my headphone. That's the only way I could fly.
Wow.
And what's weird is, let me tell you this weird connection. Now when I fly, or these last years I've been flying, I listen to Sade or you to get me cool. Like, That's a comparison of your music where you both get me over flying. You just keep me calm. I want to tell you, Pusha T, Lil Wayne,
girl.
I mean, these features, these guys went crazy on your album. Just nuts. The way it starts, bum, and Pusha T just goes off. And this Lil Wayne is like so acceptable, so sectional, so it's just.
Now that Wayne verse as well, it's in fact the NBA just did some crazy visual with all these sick with that Nat King Cole unforgettable verse in there. It looks so crazy. Wait till you see it. It's bananas. And Pusha is one of my favorite MCs. I can't even believe we never did anything together. So for him to be on the song Plentiful, which is like just a whole
off it. Like off it. I turned it on. I'm coming from San Francisco. That flight was doing all this shit. I grabbed them AirPods and I bought new AirPods to listen to your album. No
Did
bullshit.
You bring the big joints that cancel all the things?
I heard you heard about the guy who interviewed Adele about her album but never listened to the album?
Nah, because that's ridiculous.
It's like, he got fired because he got fired because he got up and left.
What?
Yeah, this is a true story in Australia. Adele had an interview with a guy, and the guy never listened to the music, and then she felt like it was a disrespect. She got up and walked off.
Oh, she left.
She left. Yeah, like, and so like with you, I had to really, you know, get my shit right because I'm like, yo, you know, you're a big deal.
Because the people are wondering why you're not asking me not one question about keys, so they about to jump you.
About
So
keys, I just told you about the thing.
No, you lucky. You just saved yourself because they was about
One
to
in a billion is my joint.
I love that song.
1 in a billion is my joint. I'm gonna show you my notes. Shout out to Cash App, my great partners. If you want 15 free dollars, go to Cash App, put Fat Joe in there, you get 15 free dollars.
Really? Like right now?
So right now, after this, you can get 15 free dollars. If a million people go after this, they can get 15 million free dollars on Cash App. Damn. This is not a lie. So it goes. Yeah, I love that you gave us the turned up version to the thing. Pusha T. Oh, I love the song La La. Is it La La or
it's La La.
L-A-L-A?
It's La La. La 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 La. Yeah, that's your vibe. That's definitely
La La
your
La
vibe.
La La. And then you got Sway Lee on there.
Yes.
You know this guy don't miss. This
guy
he's a hidden best kept secret.
He's really special, for real. He really is.
And why did you think of Sway Lee for that collab right there?
You know, Mike Will and I were building on all the music, and Sway is Mike's artist, and I didn't even actually put that together when we were first starting to build, and he was working on their stuff, and I was like, yo, me and Sway need to connect because he has a vibe to him and he flows in a way that's special. He has a great energy, and so he was like, let's put it together, and so it kind of worked out exactly like that. And it was easy.
That's an amazing song. So you got so many ways to go. You got so much good music on this album that I don't even know where you're going with it because it's like you got so many hits on there that it's amazing. The Khaled, and the Lucky Days, another like very, very special song.
Come for me.
Something I've been meaning to ask you, right? I'm gonna go to Empire State. I know we talking about keys, but Empire State, you know, we had the New York anthem. It was 100 Guns, 100 Clips. From New. So I thought we were the kings. Till this thing came out. Welcome to the best stop. I'm in the Brooklyn. In the New York. It's so epic, this song. But the thing that's most epic to me is you guys sampled Love on a Two-Way Street. Did you know the original I found love on a two-way street?
You know what? I knew it, but I didn't even put together that part. As a kid, you know, you singing that part and you just know it and your parents listen to it and it's about, but I never put together that part that was like bang, 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 until
I knew it the second I heard that song. I said, yo, they freaked my favorite song, Love on a Two-Way Street.
Crazy.
And you had to know. You had to know that this was going to be one of the biggest songs in history of music. You, Jay-Z, the song was so fly. Like, did you feel like, y'all can't wait for this to come out?
I definitely knew that it was a special song for sure. I don't ever really, I get very cautious about, some people are like that. This is a smash. This is a hit. This is a hit.
I'm guilty of that.
Are like that.
I am super guilty of that.
And that's some Bronx shit. You know, the Bronx, it really is. Y'all gotta,
okay, Swiss.
You know, it's a zone. But for me, I'm really cautious about that. And I really, you know, I just really, you never know. You never know how anything's going to go. So I'm always just open to whatever's going to happen. And I knew it was special and I knew it was powerful, but I had no idea that it would end up being a monster.
And anybody from New York, I don't care who you are. I could be in Miami. I could be in Dubai, wherever. When that song comes on, it's such a prideful, it's in the soul. And you know, certain songs and certain music impacts you. The thing that's so powerful about music is that when it's your thing, it's your thing. You can't run away from it. Like, you know, I had little, you know, rap beef with 50 Cent, but when he came out with the I get money, I was like,
He's like,
50, like, no, like, it hits you so
different.
crazy when you love something, it's undeniable. And so that New York song is so crazy. One last question I want to ask you. Your son is called Egypt. I get jealous every time you and Swiss go to Egypt, right? Because it's a dream of mine to go to Egypt, right? But I'm always scared to go to Egypt because I be seeing shit on the news that be happening. But you guys are so comfortable in Egypt. Like, you stay there for a whole month. Like, say you grew up in Harlem, Hell's Kitchen, Harlem. You grew up. What is it like walking in the pyramid? The stuff we read in books, stuff we studied, you know, the Cleopatras, the King Tuts. What is it like actually being in there? Do you like feel, do you feel it? Do you feel like the ancestors? Do you feel like, please explain to me.
It is so powerful. It is so crazy, especially because we're not even taught half the history that's contained in all of our lineages. You know what I mean? So when you're able to experience this really incredible origin of, you know, of Blackness, and obviously that whole Nile civilization coming from Ghana and all the way, and just like really being able to see this majesty that looks like nothing you ever saw before. You never saw anything. Even the hugest skyscraper is not more unbelievable than what these incredible structures look like. They're huge. There's one column that 50 people have to join hands to get around the one column, and then there's thousands of those. It's out of control. It's complete. It reminds you that you are, you know, that God is within you, that there's a power within you to create, that I think sometimes we don't even realize how large we can create things, you know, how big we can imagine. And it reminds you that, oh, wait a minute, there's things bigger than me, for sure.
You know, I grew up 3-4 blocks away from Swiss, and it bugs me out when I see camels. He owns camels in Saudi Arabia, and he's over there building the city and shit. Like, I mean, these things. Look, we've been a lot of places. We've done a lot of things. Any of this blow your mind? Like it blows my mind when Swiss just randomly FaceTimes me from Saudi, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm in Saudi, my brother. You know, I'm still here." Like, is this like? Does any of this blow your mind?
That's most of it, all the time. There's not even things, you know, there's things that he comes to me and he's like, watch when. I'm like, I already know. Like, I already know. You know, like I said, it's just kind of similar to what we were talking about even with Egypt. It's like there's this unlimited thought process that I think I'm definitely learning from him, and we all have to adopt that. You know, we don't have to fit in anybody's box. You know what I mean? We get to break out of any alleged ceiling or whatever that's supposedly around us. It doesn't even exist. They just want you to think it exists so that you won't break through it. So it's our job to break through it. And he don't give a fuck. He gonna break through
Yeah, he don't care.
all of it.
I've never seen a guy who's he's in Saudi Arabia. He flies to Miami to do something for like 3 hours, and then the next thing he's on a plane to Saudi Arabia again.
No, that was crazy. He was heated about that. That was a little schedule mishap.
Like,
but let me ask you a question, Joe. Have you ever heard a concept? Because I'm just trying to make sure. Because I feel like this keys concept is the first one of its kind. And I want to know, have you ever heard of a concept where a body of work contained an original and then a sampled interpretation of that original? Now, I'm not
Well,
talking
you
about the first
answered it.
album.
You answered it yourself. In a prior interview, you was with my brother Nori in the EFN, and you said when you did the New York version, the minute I heard that, it was like brilliant to me. It was like a light bulb went off because I said fucking right, like that, like because the Empire State was already, you know, jacked up hip hop, and then you came with the pianos and did your own version. So that actually was the invention of it.
Right.
Yeah, it was the invention of it. And then you said, let me tap into this greatness on this album. And so it was like, you know, sometimes we do stuff and we don't even know we did it already. We don't know we did that. You know, and sometimes you get reintroduced to it and you're like, damn, I did this.
You're right. You're right, actually. You're actually right. And I love that.
It's facts. And all right, I end it now. I know you gotta watch the game. I gotta watch the game too.
Exactly.
Was this premeditated? Was this you smoking the blunt on Drink Champs? Was this premeditated? Was it the shots? Was it, yo, I'm on Drink Champs, I got it. Did you go in there saying, I'm gonna smoke some shit? Shout out to Smoke Champs. I'm gonna, I think I was totally shocked at this. Me, Fat Joe, was like, holy shit, she's hitting the yalla.
Come on, Joe.
No,
if people premeditate shit like that,
I don't know.
That's
like, what was
people,
it? Could you break that down for me? Because I'm talking too much, and I really want to hear the answer.
No, it's first of all, big love to Nori and Effin, and like the whole Drink Champs vibe is like such a zone. I just love how you can just. It was really fun because you can just really just sink into having a good time. It's like you're just talking to your brothers and your vibe. I know he was saying there's not a lot of women that come on. I guess because, you know, I grew up with a lot of guys. I grew up in New York. I had a bunch of brothers. I was probably with more guys all the time just because they were looking out for me. Those are my brothers. So to me, it was like going home and talking to my brothers and talking shit. It was like, that's the vibe.
And so you forgot the cameras and you lit the yalla. At what point you
I'm
said,
a grown ass woman, boo. Grown ass woman. It's a lot of shit you don't know about me. What can I say?
Yo, Alicia, man, I was like, I see you take the yalla, and I said, oh shit.
You're
like,
so stupid.
And you know they're corrupting you. The whole gimmick with Drink Champs is they're really getting you drunk.
They slowly taking you there. They slowly taking you there. All I did was when they asked me to do the promos at the end of the night, I was mad. I said, what? We got to say what?
You like, I'm saucy already.
He's like, I think I got to go get some food now. Bye. It was amazing.
I love you. I thank you for coming on the show, thinking about us, the big show. Enjoy the game. Everybody go out there and get the Keys album. I'm sure you got it already.
Yeah.
It's a double album. It's fire. It's incredible. Support Alicia Keys. Yes. We always do. I love you.
Nothing but love.
Thank you so much, sis.
And everybody who tuned in, I love y'all. The vibe is incredible. Super blessings. I love you, Joe. You're amazing. I honor you. By the way, you are no joke. You are so special. You're very special to me, too. You are a big part of my consciousness. And, like, the flows and the energy and the vibes and what you bring means a lot to me, too. So I just want to give you some amazing energy, too. I'm proud of you.
I love you, A-Keys. And hopefully you're going for the Knicks tonight, even though Steph's about to make history.
Let's go. I'm going for all the fun. We're going to have a blast. I'm ready for everything. I'm ready.
Love you, sis. Thank you so much.
Love you too, baby. Talk to you
later. Wow. And you don't know who I know. It's impossible that you know who I know. No, that's 8 keys. It's not no every day that you get 8 keys on the show. That's actually my claim to fame. It's the second time she did the show. It's actually my claim to fame. Is having Alicia Keys. So when I tell